Hi stamping friends, Melissa Kerman here with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I sell all the products that I share in my videos. In this video you'll learn how to make a simple wow card that incorporates both a fun fold and a great way to showcase designer series paper. It's called a 3-panel Scenery Z-fold card. This fun fold layout was designed by Rachel Tessman. For today's cards, I've used the Feels Like Frost specialty designer paper. This designer paper is now sold out. However, it will be returning in September 2020 in the holiday catalog. I've also used the To Every Season, Merry Christmas to All, and Artisan Textures stamp sets. The To Every Season stamp set and coordinating punch pack will be retiring as of January 2nd, 2020. Now this is one of my November-December 2019 club and free card kit projects. To learn how you can get free card kits, make sure to check out the link in the video description below. So I'm going to start with heat embossing my snowflake images and sentiment images first. Now I created card kits in 3 different color schemes with about 6 different designer paper patterns. So what I'm doing here is the heat embossing for 2 of the 3 color schemes, Blackberry Bliss and Early Espresso. So I've stamped my snowflakes and now I'm going to stamp the sentiment pieces. And of course I'm using my embossing buddy on my cardstock so I don't get any specks of embossing powder where they don't belong. The embossing buddy is an anti-static, of course. And then I'm going to go ahead and put all of those pieces into the white embossing powder and heat it with my heat tool. As you can see, I got some specks on the cardstock even though I used the embossing buddy. So I'm using a small paintbrush just to remove those excess specks. Given that this is pretty dark cardstock, the white specks will show up quite a bit if I don't remove them. And now I'm just doing my heat embossing. Now I've heat embossed 3 snowflakes in each color scheme and a sentiment in each color scheme as well. And now I'm going to just use my snowflake punch from the Every Season punch pack to punch out my snowflakes. This is a set of 4 very cute little punches that coordinate with the To Every Season stamp set. Next I'm going to use my rectangle stitch dies to die cut the sentiments using my Big Shot. Once I've die cut the sentiments, I'm going to attach each of them to a small whisper white backing. Now that all my little pieces and parts are assembled for my card, I can start assembling the actual card itself. Now I'm going to be putting together the card that's made with the Blackberry Bliss card base. And I've pre-scored this piece of cardstock at 1.5 inches and 4 1/4 inches. And then I'm just going to fold my card in half and then fold back that flap and burnish the folds so they're nice and well creased. Now I'm taking some Versamark ink with an image from the Artisan Textures stamp set, and I'm just stamping the whole cover just to give it a little bit of texture and sort of look like snow in the background. I used Versamark here so that regardless of what color card body people were using at my class, they would still be able to get that tone-on-tone look. Now as you can see here, I've got a 6x6 piece of designer series paper that's cut down in panels, and as you can see I've lined it up first to make sure that the pattern is continuous. And this paper does come as 6x6 paper, so it works perfectly for this card design. So I took my designer paper piece, cut it down to 5 1/4 inches tall, and then cut that into 3 strips, one that was 2 3/4 inches wide, the middle one that was 1 1/8 inch wide, and then the one on the right 2 1/8 inch wide. So I'm starting by taking my piece that measures 2 3/4 inches wide and attaching it to a base, a cardstock base of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And now I have a small white strip that I'm going to put on the inside of the card, and I'm going to align this on the far right hand side of the card, making sure to leave it evenly spaced so it has the same edge on the right and the top and the bottom. And as you can see, I put my other piece of designer series paper in there to kind of help me position that white piece. And then I'm going to take the panel that measures 2 1/8 inches wide, and it's going to fit right next to the Whisper White piece of cardstock, again so that I've got even spacing all around that panel. And last but not least, I'm going to attach the 1 1/8 inch wide strip, again with about 1/8 of an inch between it and the other piece to the right, so that I've got a little border on each of the pieces of designer paper. So now I'm getting ready to put the card together, to assemble it. So as you can see, I'm putting adhesive down the small strip on the front, and this is going to hold that largest panel right there. And I'm lining it up so that it's justified to the far right of the card when it's closed, and to the edges of the small flap that was scored there. And now I'm just burnishing the folds to make sure that it lays flat to the extent possible. Now I'm going to take my sentiment piece and I'm going to put a couple dimensionals behind just the right hand side of it, and I'm laying out my heat embossed snowflakes into the position where I would like them to be. Now I obviously don't want dimensionals on the left side of the sentiment piece because it will attach the front of the card to the left side of the card and will attach it shut, and then it won't fold open the way it's supposed to, like a Z. And now for my snowflakes, I attached the one on the top right with a glue dot, and then I'm going to use a mini dimensional on the snowflake in the lower right, and another mini dimensional for the snowflake to the left of the sentiment on the card body. And there's my finished card. I hope you've enjoyed this 3-panel scenery Z-fold card, and we'll give it a try with one of your favorite designer series papers at home. Here's the full set of 3 cards that I made, and some photos of the Night of Navy card that I think is actually my favorite. As a reminder, this is one of my club and free card kit projects for November-December 2019. To learn more about my clubs and free card kit program, click on the link in the video description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today, and happy crafting!